I'm Kathleen Wilson, aka Chubbs. I was at Four Corners. My mom was working it, my dad. So that morning when I seen all those guys, I could see them today. But we are the ones who lived it. We were there.
We never got arrested. I didn't get arrested.
I mean, those terrorists, they treated like we were inhuman or something. That's really sad to say. They still do the same thing.
Yeah. To be Indian is the hardest thing in the world in this day and age.
I'm proud to be here today because this brings back a memory, what we for all of our rights that we could humanly have as a people. So that's this memory here. This is the first time that we've ever honored Four Corners. We have other places that we occupied. I was there also. And we had to go to jail. We had to get beat up, but we got up, we went on. We kept on fighting to be where we are today. And now we pass it down to our younger generation. Although now laws have changed, but still, we're going to have to somehow stand up for ourselves in our our traditional areas. All the resources that we live by yet today. That's why I come here today to talk about. So it's been a struggle. It's been a lot of scars and throughout the years. Genocide, that's one of the things that we all face as people, Native Indigenous people. It's all we all have faced throughout our lands.
But there was the buildup of Pit Rivers being the poor of the poor. There's a lot of them had skills working in the woods and agriculture and grazing and everything else. But for the most part, there were some who were just homeless and just, living in daily conditions. And so they went out and cut a bunch of Christmas trees and try to sell it to make ends meet. It was towards the winter, so imagine Christmas is coming up and everything. And so with that, it started an occupation.
Well, we was at Four Corners, and we went and we cut Christmas trees up on the Sugarloaf Mountain.
After that.
And that was part of Four Corners too, because we just taking them together to sell. That was before everybody got arrested, before they moved us out. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So the Four Corners, there was a lot of build-up to the Four Corner occupation. So at the time, you had Alcatraz, and you had like Frank's Landing in Washington, and so you had a lot of draw of a lot of Indians coming from different areas, urban, rural, and wherever else. And so when Alcatraz kicked off, I had my grandfather, some of my uncles and aunties, they went down there. Like Mickey Gimmel Sr., who went to Alcatraz, he was going to San Francisco Community College, or it might have been State, but he started understanding sovereignty and self-determination, and so armed with some of that knowledge and frustration, it just really kind of kicked off, and so it drew a lot of people from a lot of areas, and initiated other occupations throughout California and elsewhere. And so with that, it was transmitted from generation to generation, a purpose, directive, right? Really that kick-started a lot of the activism of the Pit River tribe and the Pit River people. And so a lot of people would quote that occupation to this very day to really forming their consciousness and their perspectives of what it is to be Pit River.
I'm so happy that things turned out good here today. I was here when I was just a kid. My grandmother, she cooked for this camp. My grandfather, he was one of the leaders that brought about this occupation here. But we had to do that so that we showed the government and the non-natives that this is our land. This is our home. We've been here since time immemorial. And so those are the words that I always hold to myself and try to pass that on to the younger people so that they have a better understanding and appreciation of the land. There was a point, the big point for this occupation was because people were homeless. That was one of the main reasons that they were doing that. That's why they were down at PG&E trying to, when they were sitting on the land there, a lot of relatives go to jail over these things. And some of them are gone. Some of them were about my age and they're already gone. But that had to happen. And now our people were able to build homes. We're able to give people a higher standard of living. So those are accomplishments that give me hope, is seeing this change, seeing the attitude change, seeing our people doing stuff for themselves.
And so with that occupation, and with the tribal government really understanding sovereignty and understanding self-determination and understanding that we have legitimate claim to land and resources, that really pushed everything forward. And so I think it started something that really, I don't know if they anticipated how large it got, but it got really large, and it really brought cultural identity, pride, and obligation to the future generations. So I think that's kind of what the tie-in with the Four Corners and where we're at now. And so even being young, being told, 1 inch at a time, 1 acre at a time, we have to get our land back. And so the only other way to get land is through suit, through purchase, or to occupy. And so then this whole process of donation came up.
What gives me hope is that we haven't lost what we have. We still have those gifts to give. We're encouraging today, and so great. What a great turnout of elders and cultural keepers of our cultural knowledge out here, willing to come out and share to keep everybody healthy, happy, and whole. And that's what it's about, for us, and getting these parcels back. That's our family too, and to be able to care for them in the way that they're meant to be cared, and for our people to be back on that, to say hi to their relative again, right? To not be barred from these lands because of fencing or gates and that or signs that say no trespassing, keeping us out, from our own homelands, where there are sacred areas for our people that we've been alienated from. But that change has been happening, not as fast as we like, but it's happening, and we're not going to stop making it happen.